Alright everyone, welcome! Alright, I'm sorry I haven't posted in a little while, but I just got caught up with a lot of different stuff. Anyways, so this is going to be my next guide. It's going to be on Ekko. Now, I've decided I'm going to be a Ekko main, so I'm going to be teaching you different ways to play Ekko. So Ekko in the top lane, Ekko in the jungle, and Ekko in the mid lane. Now, in my opinion, Ekko is built best certain ways in different lanes. So for example, Ekko tank, that's just the best way to put it in the top lane. And I have tried AD Ekko in the jungle. It's really bad. Like, you cannot farm at all. It is so hard, and his clear is really bad. And also, he doesn't have enough burst damage in his ganks to be able to be effective during the game. So yeah, I would not recommend playing AD anywhere other than top. I also tried it in the mid lane, but then again, I was against a LeBlanc, and she just, just ran right over me because I had no damage to counter hers, which is incredibly amount of damage. Anyways, so 3 ways that I'll be teaching you how to build Ekko in the 3 different lanes that he could be played. So you build him full AP in the jungle, you build him full AP in the mid, and you build him AD tank in the top lane. Alright, let's start off with the jungle. Alright, so the build that I usually use for Ekko in the jungle is I usually get Blue Smite with Runic Echoes. Alright, that helps me with the burst. Next, I'll either get Sorcery Shoes or Boots of Ionian, or however you want to pronounce it. I don't know. You guys can have your own whatever. Anyways, so the reason why I would get either or is because Sorcerer's Shoes gives you Magic Pen, which will help you against like tanks if they're building a lot of magic resistance. But if you're really ahead of everyone and the tanks don't really have a ton of extra stuff like that, then what you can do is you can get Ionian Boots to get you extra cooldown reductions, to get you more damage on your abilities, because you can throw them out faster. Alright, the next item that I usually get for extra burst on my E is Dead Man's Plate. Now, I've already explained why I get it, but the other reason would be also because it gives you some pretty decent tank stats, which you need not only in the jungle, but to survive team fights. The next item that I usually get is Lichbane. Lichbane, because after you use an ability, it gives you a bonus damage on your next auto, like bonus magic damage added on top. So I think that's a really broken item because in Ekko's combo, he usually auto attacks after to finish off the 3rd stack of his passive, but I'll go into depth with that later. Alright, so the next item that you're going to want to get is going to be a Morello Nomicon. Now, this is a good item because it not only gives you extra cooldown reduction, it gives you 100 ability power, which I think they changed it because it was a lower ability power before, but that's not only its best trait. One of the best traits in my opinion about it is when you level up, you get this little sound effect that's, I don't know, it's a really cool mage sound effect, and it just gives you a little bit more health and mana restored when you level up, which I think is really good because if you level up and the enemy's about to kill you or something, you'll be able to survive because you get that extra health, right? So I think that's pretty convenient. Now, you'll have 2 options to choose from. You can either choose a Abyssal Scepter or a Rabadon's Death Cap. Now, I usually go Abyssal to finish off my build because, the extra magic pen there. But if you're really fed and you're really ahead and you just want more AP, go Rabadon's Death Cap because it'll give you a whole ton of AP that's just really needed. Alright, next let's talk about Ekko's ganking. So here's an example of me taking a really easy gank. So what I did there was I waited for them to push up far into the lane, a little bit past half, and then I placed my bubble, which is my W, a bit behind them, and start walking towards them. So what this will do is because they can't see it at first if you cast it from out where the shadows are. So what this does is it's like, oh no, Ekko's gonna kill me, so let me walk backwards. So what you're trying to do is you're basically trying to trick them into thinking that your bubble is going to be directly on them, because in lower ELO that's what they're going to think they're going to do. So, but I figured that out already, and yeah. But the higher you climb in the ELO, the more people are going to be like, oh yeah, Ekko's going to put it behind me. So you'll just have to, you know, predict where they're going to be with the W. So after you have learned placing of your W in the ELO that you're in at the moment, that's when your ganking starts getting really good, because if you land a stun on 2 people in the bot lane, that's 2 free kills. Because all you have to do is just land the W stun, E, use your E damage to get a stack, then Q right after, so just go EQ auto, and then run around a little bit until your cooldowns come back up, if they're not finished off yet. But they're usually about finished off. If you need to give them a quick 1-2 auto, that's fine too, but the stun might have worn off already, so beware of some outplayage. I've had it happen to me before, where they just randomly outplay me because I've ran out of abilities to cast on them. Alright, so here's going to be the Ekko combo that I use in the jungle. So what you do is you W behind, and then E in smite Q auto, and then run away, finish them off with an ult and then a few autos. And if they're slippery like that, flash, E, finished. Easy as that. Alright, so another thing Ekko can do is solo the dragon at level 8. Now this is tedious work, and it's really close. So you're going to want to have smite up, and you're also going to want to W every time you can, because the W gives you enough sustain at level 8 to be able to solo water drag, infernal drag, earth drag, and cloud drag. It does not give you enough to solo elder, but you know, you won't be level 8 when elder spawns, so don't have to worry about that. Alright, so the next thing I want to explain is Ekko in team fights. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to play team fights pretty passive until you see someone really low. So be in the back line, and then just EQ in, and walk around again, you know, try and find places in big groups to put your W, and then EQ. And then again, big places, EQ. Or as you saw what I just did there to Jin, all I did was walk up to him, auto, EQ. Alright, so one thing that I haven't explained yet is Ekko's jungle path. Now, I usually start blue, and I think that's the best and only way to start his jungle path, because he is an AP and uses a ton of mana. So in my opinion, I still think that is the best way. If you go red, let's say, you'll probably end up dying to the red buff, which is an unfortunate thing because, you know, it reduces your clear time. And one thing to note is don't exclude the scuttle crab. If you need to take it on your bot side clear, with blue buff and all that stuff, then just take it, because if you need the extra HP as Ekko, it's not a bad thing. Ekko's wave clear is not very good early game, so if you need the scuttle crab, just take it. I usually take it after I have taken my blue buff. Depends on how good of a leash I got from either the bot lane or the top lane. Yeah, anyways, that is his jungle clear in my opinion. The rest from there is just going on to your wraiths if you have high HP, or onto your red buff if you have low HP. The reason low HP red buff is because your smite will probably be up by then, and you know, if it isn't, just go to your wraiths. But if your smite is up and you're really low, you're gonna want to smite the red buff and then just take it. That should be all for the early game clear. You should have an easy time ganking. I usually start ganking at level 4. That's usually when Ekko has a good enough damage output and enough CC to just be able to pull off a successful gank. It'll most likely end up in a flash from the enemy, but sometimes it can end up in a kill. Depends. Alright, so the first ability you're going to want to level up on Ekko is Q. The next ability is going to be E, and the ability after that you're going to want to level up is W. After W, you're going to want to put another point into your Q, and then another point right back in to your Q. Alright, then the last point you're going to want to put in level 6 is, of course, your ultimate. Well, that concludes the video for Ekko Jungle. Thanks for watching, guys. Check out my next videos, which are going to be coming up soon, which are going to be on Ekko Top and Ekko Mid. I will explain in those videos the tips and tricks that you need to succeed in mid lane and top lane. Stay tuned for some more videos.